Boom. What's up, everybody? I hope you're doing great. So, the second most important thing in Denver today is I'm pulling out my old man cane and I'm waving it at the sky. I don't know about you guys if you're pulling news from local news channels on their websites, but they're a complete dumpster fire. Like
Oh,
it is almost impossible to gather reputable news from either the television news stations, the newspaper news stations. I don't know what can be done, but like the CPU drain of like opening two tabs of a news website completely shuts down your computer for like 5 minutes.
that's the worst thing ever. It happens to me all the time.
It's so annoying. I mean, and that's a part of what we do, with the newsletter. We put an aggregate all of the like best stories from the week in Denver,
Hmm.
but man, to go find them, it's like it hogs more CPU than absolutely any other application on. And I'm talking about video editing, Zoom, Loom, all of them. A news website. What's up with these websites?
Yeah. All these newspaper, magazine style websites are just absolute CPU and RAM drainers. So there's times where my computer completely crashes from opening like the New York Times or something like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, old legacy media trying to squeeze the last bit out and with some ad revenue here. But you
Yeah.
would think that they would optimize their online resources to
Let
something
me,
that works.
let me read this two-paragraph article after I click through 7 minutes of ads and pop-ups.
Yeah, it's insane.
And it's got the weird mouth with the busted up teeth at the bottom. Like you don't even want to get to the bottom of an article because it's gonna be some disgusting picture on there. I don't know. This is just a huge opportunity for somebody. I mean, like, how do you do an AI wrapper of news headlines? You know,
Hmm.
that just breaks it down. I mean, that's like I link these news stories, but I think I might just like start doing 3 second or 3 sentence summaries because I feel bad sending somebody to like the Denver Post. I hate to say that, Denver Post. You're an institution around here, but boy, either it's a pay gate or it's like 17 pop-ups. Anyway, I'm putting the cane back
Yeah.
into its holster, but we'll just go into the first most important thing, which is going to dovetail perfectly into Troy's hot takes, which is, dude, the bench came up so strong yesterday for the Nuggets against the Golden State Warriors. You just love to see it. What a fun game.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, that was definitely unexpected. But yeah, Russell Westbrook came to play. Aaron Gordon was an absolute monster,
Yeah.
and I think the Warriors have lost. It's like 14 straight against the Nuggets or something. It's just can't beat them. Can't get over that hump.
Yeah. Plus, Aaron was playing full beast mode, and like you could tell Draymond didn't really want that smoke. He
Yep.
was he was doing Draymond things, but like you're
Yeah.
like, ah,
Well,
what's
he made four threes also. He was like 4 for 5 from three. So he was just having the game of his life yesterday.
yeah, totally. So fun to watch and such a great bounce back because the Wizards game really bummed me out.
Mhm.
So who are these Denver Nuggets? Who is this team? You know, who's going to show up on any given night? Who are we playing defense tonight? Maybe not. Is Porter going to make 17 threes in a row? Maybe. He might also break six in a row. We know Westbrook is going to airball 6 times,
Mhm.
but who cares?
Yeah.
He's killing it.
West Brick.
Westbrook.
Yeah. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think they're all the pieces are kind of coming together and I feel like it could click come playoff time. So we will see.
100%. What else you got in sports, Troy?
As I know a lot of people are filling out their March Madness brackets right now. I came across, I was thinking about like how difficult it is to actually predict a 100% perfect bracket. And according to the NCAA, the odds of predicting all 63 games correctly are 1 in 9.2 quintillion.
Wow.
Yeah. The odds are slightly better if you're familiar with college basketball, 1 in 120.2 billion. So, as
Jeez.
yeah, as you fill out your bracket this week or this weekend, just know that you have much higher odds of a lot of other things. So it's a very, very difficult task.
I didn't even think quintillion was like a real number. I thought that was like what you say in kindergarten.
I did, yeah, I
Quintillion,
did, I had to
gazillion.
it was a long number about this long, and I had to figure out what the actual, like, how to,
Say it.
yeah. So yeah, it's really hard. Also, the late last night or early this morning, the MLB had their first game of the season. It was the Dodgers win over the Cubs. So MLB is right around the corner. And yeah, Otani went back to his hometown and had a good game. And this season, this was kind of the first. Um, I think this is the first time MLB's done this, where they had the opening game in Tokyo, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, spring training's almost over. Today was the first game, or technically today was the first game officially of the regular season, and baseball is about to be in full swing. No pun intended.
Love it. It's so cool that they did it in Japan too.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Japan has such a love for the game. There was a while when I contemplated getting some Japanese baseball caps
Mm-hmm.
because the logos and like all of their uniforms are like so drip.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
That's really
nice.
cool.
Totally. Yeah, that's everything on the sports side of things for now.
Nice, man. Tom, where are we riding this week?
There's actually some snow coming down, even though it's been super warm. I hit you guys on the live stream with the view here at the probabilistic snow forecast. We got 6 to 9 inches. This is all between now, basically, and Friday morning. So over the next 3 days, we have 6 to 9 in Vale, 5 to 8 inches in Aspen, 6 to 11 over up at Rabbit Ears Pass. So basically, it's Steamboat. And yeah, even over by the tunnel, 8 to 12 inches. So A Basin, Loveland Ski Area, Keystone, 8 to 12 inches over there. So it's not snowing, which is good. We need some snow to stay alive at this point in the season. I'm still hoping that Copper is still alive in mid-April, but it always has been over the last few years. So I'm just psyching myself out because I got some visitors coming in to ride. But winter this week, I mean, if we're going off snow, you got to give it to Loveland, A Basin, Keystone.
Let's go Front Range.
8 to 12 over on the Continental Divide near the tunnel. So
I could get there in my EV and back.
yeah, exactly. Definitely. Yeah,
Nice.
Winter Park coming in low this week, but Steamboat is a nice second with that 6 to 11 inches going on.
Steamboat's had such a season this year.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's the place to go for that champagne powder. But that's it. That's what I got.
Love it. All right, we'll do a couple of news hits here real quick.
Mhm.
So one thing I wanted to highlight is there is a ballot measure, SB 25076, that was shot down. And this was largely affecting Colorado's cannabis industry. And it was seen to be largely restrictive and prohibitive for business. And I'm unabashedly a pro-business capitalist, so I'm happy to see it. Now, I wanted to go over kind of what this would like. I'm trying to figure out what they're trying to do here with this. One, they're trying to set the legal limit age requirement from, I believe it's 21 now, to 25, which that seems like such an arbitrary number. That seems odd. And then they wanted to do this color coding around THC content, where if THC is at least 50%, the color strip is red, 15 to 50 is orange, 5 to 15 is yellow, 5% or less is blue. So,
Okay.
you know, and then it's also requiring that the amount of THC you're consuming per serving, per package, the number of servings per package, the directions for consumption of serving. Now that doesn't seem too bad.
They
to
already
me.
have that on most of them, though.
Yeah, for sure. If you see it, they'll say like, hey, you know, you don't want to eat the whole cookie or whatever. There's 3 servings here. I mean, that's,
Yeah.
I think, just a standardized part of like just food packaging in general. But
Yeah.
they kind of go on to forbidden the current size of edibles. So, I just wonder what the sentiment is for this. And it was shot down. So people are clearly like, hey, man, it seems like the legislation we have on the books is working just fine. No one's losing their mind, but is this, kind of the teetotalist in the cannabis industry trying to like weasel in any way they can to scratch back some regulation? I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The 21 to 25 jump, I just can't find a lot of um, reasons why they would want to do that. That's interesting. It's
That
kind of a random jump.
doesn't make
Yeah.
any sense.
Yeah.
I thought so too. They're like, what's going to happen in those 4 years that suddenly you're more responsible
Yeah.
to figure out if you want 10 milligrams of edibles?
Is 21 not enough of an adult yet? I mean, you already can't drink until 21. It's like, are they saying that drinking is safer than smoking weed? Because I think it's proven that that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it kind of goes on. A natural medicine license holder is prohibited from manufacturing, distributing, or transferring natural medicine product that is a candy product, gummy, chocolate, or confection, contains a concentrate, is consumed or administered by anything other than oral. Ooh, I don't know what that's inferring to.
Like topical stuff, or they have
Topical.
like,
Okay. Yeah. Thank you for bringing me back on track here.
yeah.
But so, okay, now maybe there's an argument here too. If we're talking about a natural medicine and you're eating it like a chocolate bar, I
Mhm.
mean, are we starting to play with the word medicine a little bit? Maybe this just kind of highlights the conflict a little bit between recreational and medicinal cannabis, because it could be the same product. It just depends on how you hold it, right? If it's in a tablet, it's like, oh, it's medicine. But if it's in a gummy, you're like, I don't know.
I mean, let's check out the prime sponsors of this bill here. Judy, I'm not surprised with her. She looks like she's trying to shut down, the legal weed situation here.
Yeah.
Let's see what her occupation is not listed. Democratic Party.
She's calling the cops if the music's too loud next door.
Judy.
I mean, she looks like a nice lady. She's, a nice looking lady, but boy, does that sweater really, really demand to speak to the manager?
Byron, he must have some sort of grudge. I mean, electrician, he's a rancher. The Republican Party affiliation might have something to do with his opinion here.
He
But
probably had a grow up. No, I'm just kidding.
his grow up is getting shut down.
Yeah, they're undercutting him.
Kyle Brown, no occupation. Got Democratic Party. He looks like he can't handle smoking a lot of weed, to be honest.
It's pretty tight. I mean, Byron, maybe something happened to him when he was 21 and he was like,
If
his
I
buddies
was
were like,
25, yeah.
yeah, his buddies are like, dude, come on, you're 21. We're going to Colorado. We're going to smoke a giant joint. And something terrible happened to him. He's like, I wasn't ready for that till I was at least 25.
Yeah.
Okay.
Interesting.
Makes sense.
All right. Well,
Anyway, no
it's shot
disrespect
down,
to these fine people.
yeah, I'm sure they're great representatives, but
Right.
I think this bill maybe deserved to get shot down. So
Yeah,
it's just
it just seems a little
politics.
bit too constrictive. It's like there's so many walls built around cannabis already, the ability to market and everything else. And obviously you want to be mindful of that with kids and stuff. But
And
yeah, it seems like a little draconian in my opinion.
and I don't see any evidence supporting the need for it or the fact that anything has gone bad. So like
Yeah.
I just don't get it really.
And if you're wrapping like a red banner around all of the flower that has greater than 50% THC, they're just going to all game the testing so that everything gets the red wrapper, because they're all going to just go
Yeah.
for the red.
Go for the top rapper here.
Yeah, exactly.
It just takes
You
away
know?
from the branding of like these individual companies and stuff as well. Like people notice certain branding and packaging styles, and now you're limiting them to, okay, red, blue, green, or whatever it is.
Right.
Yeah. All right. The other news story I had was just so random that I just kind of wanted to bring it up with you guys. There was an anonymous donor that paid to spay and neuter 120 pit bulls in Denver. And it just seems like I suppose that's doing good for the stray pit bull population. You want to keep them in check. But how specific is that of a way to spend your money?
Yeah. Why do you need it to just be the pit bulls? Like,
Yeah.
maybe they had some sort of traumatic experience and they're one of those people who are like, pit bulls are the devil, even though we know that they're not. It's just, it comes down to the owner and how the dog's trained and treated. But it seems like this person's trying to make a statement like, we only want to neuter these pit bulls.
Yeah. Focused on the pit bull community. There's a pit bull community that they're focusing on. I don't know. Does it maybe the pit bull community at large is generally against spaying or neutering the animals because they also seem rather enthusiastic about the whole breeding process. But for whatever reason, it just seems like an odd way to spend your cash, but
It says the fact that it's only pits is okay because you'll find donors that do this for Dobermans for all different kinds of breeds out there. Okay.
yeah,
So
specifically.
Maybe
Yeah,
they
so-
like pit bulls and they're trying to take care of the. Yeah, I get it, but
Yeah.
I would probably invest in like the min pins, the mini pinchers.
Mm,
Those dogs are nasty, man.
yeah.
Their breeding should be shut down. I'll put my money up to spay and neuter 120 of those min pins.
Yeah.
yeah, I think they're just really looking to. Now that I read that, it could just be someone who's actually just more interested in like helping facilitate these animals getting adopted, and they know that if that part of the procedure is already paid for, they might be more likely to get adopted, find responsible ownership. That's what it says right here. So
That's cool. And it would mellow them out a little bit. I mean, we all love pit bulls, but they're a little bit high strung.
they can be for sure.
Definitely.
Nice. A couple of shout outs. Wash Park Grill got boarded up. I don't know if you've seen that, but that's kind of been a staple on Pearl Street for a long time. It looks like they got hit by the tax man as well. So they got boarded up. That's been a place that, I went to South High School as a teenager, and that was like the spot that hired the high school kids, so sad to see them go. Hopefully they can get it straightened out and reopen. Otherwise, I heard that Reavers across the street might turn that into a new restaurant concept. And then the other one is the Mercury Cafe is closing up, which I was actually pretty sad to see go. Now, the good news is it's becoming an LGBTQ focused bar, and it's such a big space, such a cool big space. They'll be able to do a lot of cool stuff with it, and hopefully they keep some of the institutions there that have been around forever, particularly the open mic night, because the Estes family has a lot to be thankful for the Mercury Cafe in Maryland, the original owner. I probably my second date, I took Mrs. Estes to the Mercury Cafe. Now, this is because Mercury Cafe had a legendary Friday night open mic night that I would go down and play my new songs. I was very comfortable there, and this is with the guitar. And so my second date, I kind of played it off like, oh yeah, I've heard the Merc is cool. Like I didn't really know what was going on, and it happened to be open mic night. And so we sit down and we're just having a nice conversation. Different people are playing their songs, and she was like, you should play. I was like, yeah, no, I don't feel like it's the right time. I didn't bring my guitar. And she's like, oh, well, they have a piano. I was like, well, I've been working on a tune. Maybe I'll give it a shot. Meanwhile, I've been rehearsing this one song on the piano for like 2 years, every single day. It's just like bulletproof kind of love ballad. And so I was like, all right, so I'll sign up, whatever. These guys all know me. I'm trying not to dap them up and seem like I'm inconspicuous. And so I went there and was able to like play a nice song for my date, which I don't think is I think it definitely helped my chances for what became a 20-year marriage and 2 kids.
Nice.
So, long live the Mercury Cafe, and hopefully the new folks that are coming in there respect its heritage. The number of bands that played there in the upstairs, we used to gig up there. The Chili Peppers played there in the 80s, like freaking what's his name? Radiohead played there in 92. Like all these like amazing alternative and grunge bands played there back in the day before there was really kind of like a established scene. So that place is absolutely amazing, and shout out to Marilyn for keeping it together all these years. I believe it sold to an outside investor maybe 4 or 5 years ago. The same guy that bought my brother's bar and just was like kind of keying on keeping some of the local institutions alive, and it sounds like he did the best he could as long as he could. So shout out to them. Okay,
Nice.
we got our special guest that's just shown up.
Sweet. I'll give
I'm
Lacey an introduction when she hops in.
Okay, as Lacey's coming in too, just want to give a shout out to the Denver Zoo for welcoming a baby giraffe.
Wow.
Well, that's
Yeah.
exciting.
That is very exciting. A new
That is
baby
true.
giraffe.
I know. It reminds me of like Anchorman, where with Ling Ling, like this is the kind of news you come to expect with this podcast. We got a baby giraffe.
Yes. Hi, Lacey. Is that you joining us here? We're super excited to have you on.
Yes, I'm here. Hello.
Hello, everyone who's listening in. We have Lacey Spruce. She is the Director of Marketing and Business Development over at Drink Denver, the company behind our favorite Denver Ramen Festival and a bunch of other ones, which we're going to hopefully have you chat about with us on the show here today. Thanks for joining us. Did you know that the Denver Zoo has a new baby giraffe?
Actually, I do because I have a 2-year-old and watching the baby giraffe cam is one of her favorite pastimes.
There's a cam.
I didn't
There's
even.
a cam.
Okay, we'll have to get that pulled up.
I'm going to get it pulled up right now for our live
Stat.
stream viewers.
But I'm dying to see the baby in person. I have not yet.
Wow. That's
What's
awesome.
the baby giraffe's name?
That's a good question.
Let's see.
Baby bulletin.
Baby Cam.
Baby is here. Wow. Yeah, I can't find the baby cam. I'm seeing some pictures here.
I got it. It's on YouTube.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll pull that up for the viewers, and we could take a look at that as we jump into things. So, yeah, Lacey, thank you for joining us. I think all the viewers should be very familiar with the Denver Ramen Festival by now, as we've been kind of pushing it on them ever since that video last year that we put out. But
Well, thanks so much. I appreciate it.
Definitely. We started running the ticket giveaways, so we had one winner last week. We're gonna pick the this week's winner live while you're on the show here for the one that we started last week, and
Ooh,
then
exciting.
we have another setup one for the coming week. So we're super excited to get all that running with you. Let's see. What do I type in for this, Ryan? Denver.
For which?
Baby giraffe.
Oh, baby giraffe. It's BB's baby cam.
Oh, got it.
So I don't believe that a name has been announced yet.
Oh,
I
So
I
So
think we're
BB is
just
not his name? No.
I think we're just looking at mom right now.
wonder if they're taking suggestions.
Mm.
This has got to be BB.
yeah, that's BB. That's mama.
Yeah.
I would
there's,
name that baby Lil Troy.
Lil Troy.
Good one. There you go.
Awesome. Well, while we wait for baby to come back on stream, Lacey, I was wondering if maybe you could tell us a little bit about so everyone here knows about the Denver Ramen Festival. We've also talked about the Mile High Beer Festival as well. And I'm wondering if you might be able to tell us about the other ones that you guys run. Maybe just give the listeners kind of an overview of like what Drink Denver does to organize these festivals, and then which ones you guys do throughout the year, because I think everyone wants to know which other ones you guys are affiliated with too, because we always talk
yeah.
about them, but let's highlight your guys's for a minute.
Sure. So after Denver Ramen Festival, we have our Denver Mini Derby, which is our Kentucky Derby party. Our twist is that we
Oh,
do a mini horse race and we do corgi races. So it's basically just a Kentucky Derby watch party. We've got huge screens, open bar, band, DJ, like all the works. But then we have like 10 or 12 mini horses who are there. And they're all decked out for the day. And you can take pictures with them, you can say hi, and then they do their little race at the end. And then we have our corgi race, which is one of the things people are most excited about. And this year, I think we have like 16 corgis competing, and
okay.
they have little capes. They win prizes. It's pretty adorable.
Awesome. That sounds
That's
exciting.
awesome.
After, yeah, that one's one of my favorites. And then after that, we have the Whiskey Throwdown Donut Showdown, which is coming in to its 12th year, presented by Lamar's Donuts.
Okay.
So that will be May 31st, and it's a ton of local distilleries, a ton of local donuts. You get a ticket, you come in, you try them all. There's going to be a cocktail competition this year, tons of spirit sampling and pairings. We do a donut stacking competition. We're going to do a donut themed like costume contest this year.
Okay.
So that one's super fun
Ryan,
as
you
well.
gotta enter that, Ryan. The donut themed costume contest.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
People always impress me with the things they come up with to wear. And then later on in the summer is Denver Brunch Fest. So that's going to be August 23rd this year. And
Hmm.
we have about 40, 45 restaurants who come out. Everybody makes their own little brunch bite, their own dish. And then there's bottomless mimosas, Bloody Marys. We have a drag show, DJ, all kinds of fun. That one's at Tivoli Quad. Um,
Nice.
and then last event of the year is our grilled cheese and mac festival, which is just not for the lactose intolerant. Take your
Yeah,
lactate before you get there.
definitely, definitely.
And it's a beer festival too, so lots of cheese and beer, which is great combo.
The
Sounds
Carb
amazing.
Fest. Yeah,
Carb fest.
I love that one. I'm definitely gonna have to check that out this year.
Yeah.
Um, we're so excited for the Ramen Fest next month on April 5th. We're definitely gonna be out there. I actually cleared my evening commitment, so I will be ready to go and get. I'm My goal is to at least get a small sample of each one so that I could be a very accurate and diligent guest judge for whatever
Yes.
we decide that I need to rate these ramens based on. You know, maybe we'll do spiciness. I don't know. Ryan, Troy, if you guys have any ideas. Ryan, I'm not sure if you're gonna make it through to the ramen fest with me, but if we're doing spicy, are you gonna be ready for that?
I think so. I'm definitely going to hold your crown and cape while you're judging, and I'll keep the masses away so that you
Yeah,
can
yeah,
have an unbiased take. You
yes.
know, what I was curious about is I love this. One of the things I love about Denver is we have all these like really cool, diverse, different, you know, festivals. And I honestly, until I met Tom, didn't know much about Denver's ramen scene. Like Lacey,
Mm.
is there something unique about Denver and its appreciation for ramen?
I don't know if it's unique. I just think that Denver is increasingly more and more diverse city. It's becoming a bigger city. And with that, I think comes more diverse cuisine. And um, because of that, there's just more and more ramen places or, fusion restaurants, things like that opening up. And I think people just are more excited about them.
Mhm.
Um, but I do think that we have like a really approachable food scene, if that makes sense. So I think that that's one of the things that's great about Denver.
Does that mean you can wear
Definitely.
jammies to the restaurants? Because I've noticed that too.
I know
There,
that is a problem. I will say that is a problem.
it's very approachable.
Yeah,
I guess
definitely.
I mean that, your neighborhood spots are great. It's not like you have to go out and spend a ton of money every time you go out to eat to get good food or, to try something different.
Hmm. Definitely. I think.
And oh, sorry, Tom. Real quick, like, so when you guys are considering a new festival, because this is quite a lineup, I mean,
Mhm.
this is a very kind of aggressive pace for rolling out these festivals. How are you kind of like qualifying and deciding on kind of what kind of festival to do? And honestly, like, how do you end up with mini horse derby with corgis? You know?
Well, I will say we haven't added a new festival in quite a while. So most of our events have been around, like Whiskey Donuts has been around since like 2015 or 2014. Um, the Ramen Festival started in 2019. That was probably like the most recent one that we added.
Mhm.
They all just kind of came about just based on trends that we saw happening in the city and things that we were personally interested in. Mini Derby came about because we just thought it would be adorable. We just thought it'd be hilarious too to see like mini horses trot around. And um then we met actually Bettina from Next Step Horse Rescue, which is a local horse rescue, and they have a ton of mini horses. So she's the one that actually brings all the horses out every year. And that just kind of felt like it was like meant to be, to like partner with somebody who's like doing good for horses, and then also just like enjoys being a part of the fun of the event.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, I've never been to any sort of Kentucky Derby themed event at all.
It's like an oddly very popular thing in Denver that when I moved here in 2012, I was really confused by, because I remember my friends being like, "Hey, we got to go do something for Derby Day." And I was like, "What? What are you
Yeah.
talking about?" And then we like go out downtown and everybody's dressed up, has like the crazy hats and
Hmm.
everything. And I was like, "Oh, this is like a thing that people really get into here." So I think that's like really fun.
I could see it. There's lots of horse girls, lots of cowboys out here, so I'm
That's
not
true.
surprised.
And I think people like an excuse to drink a mint julep in the middle of the day.
Yeah, the mint juleps, that's the kind of the main thing, and wear some
Yeah.
crazy giant hats as well.
Yeah.
Awesome. What I wanted to ask, so everyone who watches this show or listens in, they're all Denver diehards, and I just want you to talk a little bit about, how these types of festivals that you guys are organizing are really doing a lot to benefit the local businesses, whether it's through promotion or, you know, getting them compensated fairly. Like, can you talk a little bit about, what this actually does for these local businesses that are, from what we've seen, sometimes they've been struggling around Denver. I think we just read that, was it over 140 local businesses closed last year, right, Ryan? Is that what we saw?
Yeah,
So
I think so. Yeah.
if you could talk about that and like what your guys' values are when it comes to that type of thing and promoting these local spots.
Yeah, for sure. I think that this is really at the core of what we do, because most of our events are, food sampling, drink sampling, and we love working with local businesses.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think we're most passionate about, is getting the little guys involved and figuring out like how can we, like, something I say often when I'm talking to people about our events is like, what is the pain point? Like, how can I help you so that you can get involved with this event? Because I truly, truly believe that it is one of the best ways for businesses to market themselves. Like, there's nothing better than just getting someone to try your food face to face.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like putting up a billboard or doing like an ad on a website. Nothing's gonna beat the face to face, like meeting a person and like having them try your food right there. So that's what I tell people a lot of the time when I'm, asking them to be involved in one of our events, is like, I want to try to make it, can we help you? Like, what can we do to help you so that you can be a part of this? Because not only is it good for you guys, but like, it's great for us too. Because I think people that come to our events, they want to try local flavors. Like, they don't necessarily want like TGI Fridays to be,
Yeah.
sampling something. Not that there's anything wrong with TGI Fridays. It's just, it's not like as fun as, hey, here's like the local ramen shop that just opened, on your street. I think that
Mm-hmm.
um, without that like local part of it, like it wouldn't be the same. The event wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be as special. Um,
Absolutely.
so we really try to make it attainable for businesses of all sizes to be a part of our events. And so something like our Mile High Beer Festival, we really focus on Colorado breweries. I mean, we do have a few come from like out of state, but like we want to celebrate the beer scene that's here because it's really special here and it's really unique. And as you mentioned, unfortunately, there are lots of closings. I think for breweries, it's like a new one opens, but one closes. So it's not necessarily growing the way it used to, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so with the with the Denver Ramen Fest specifically, speaking of local businesses, is it you have over 60 vendors? Is that correct?
Well, we have a lot of vendors, but I would say for restaurants specifically, there's like 25. And
That's
then we'll have
Okay.
like some sake places, some breweries, some we have like an origami booth. This woman who like makes her own origami and like sells it on Etsy. She's gonna do like a pop-up. So there's folks like that who are involved as well.
That's
For
so cool.
sure.
And are the restaurants the same year to year? Like, do you retain the same restaurants vendors, or do you add new ones, or a mix of both?
It's a mix of both. There's always new faces. There's always people who can't participate. Unfortunately, there's restaurants that close, and so obviously they're not going to be available. I think pretty much everybody who can likes to come back year after year as long as they're available for the date. We have some of the same from last year. We have a lot of new faces. Um, like our brunch festival is very similar to that. We have a lot of people who loved coming back every single year. We have some who kind of pick and choose the years that they're able to do it, and then we love getting the new people in there too.
Yeah, that's
Awesome.
exciting. I mean, for the festival goers who went last year, if they come back again this year, there may be new experiences or new ramen they haven't
Yeah.
tried before. So it's always
Well, and I will say too that the chefs are super competitive, and so they think a lot about like what they want to bring to the festival, and what they want to showcase. So even if they were there last year, they're not going to be serving the same thing that they did previously. And actually, this year we added a bunch new categories to our awards. So now there's like even more things that they're competing for, both in People's Choice and the Judges' Choice.
Awesome.
It's such a cool introduction to Japanese culture in Denver, because like Cherry Blossom Festival is a Denver institution. I've been going to that since I was a kid. It's a great place to bring kids. And I think that's in June, and in a way to get to know Sakura Square, which has got that great marketplace. It's really cool. And also to become, kind of maybe familiarize a little bit with kind of the subtlety and nuances of Japanese cuisine, because of course we all know sushi and we all know ramen, but that's just basically like a foot in the door of like figuring out a lot of the country style cooking that like Domo does so well. I mean, that place, we're talking about restaurants in Denver. I was so happy to see that one bounce back.
Me too. Yeah.
Domo's absolutely incredible. I'm sure they've got a booth there, but that place is absolutely exquisite. So it's a really cool addition to kind of the Japanese culture in Denver.
Yeah, there's a lot of it here, and you mentioned Sakura Square, which is just a lovely spot, and like the Cherry Blossom Festival is awesome. We actually have a vendor who's got a permanent space at Sakura Square. It's called Oka General Store. So they're gonna be doing like a pop-up at our festival, so people can kind of get a taste of what it's like to visit in person. They can shop there. They're gonna be doing some sampling of some like non-alcoholic beverages that are from Japan. So like they have a lot of imported snacks and things like that, which is fun because you can't really find that anywhere else. But we also have a ton of performers that are Japanese. So everybody from last year, like one of the fan favorites was the Denver Taiko. And so they'll be back this year. They do these incredible drum performances that like oddly like bring up like they'll like bring tears to your eyes. Like I didn't know drums could make me cry, but like they're just like so powerful. And then we have the Denver Buddhist Temple Minyo Kai dancers, and another traditional Japanese artist as well. So there's going to be a lot of that sprinkled in throughout. So it's not just food. But I didn't even know really prior to creating this festival just how much of that was here in town.
Yeah, super cool. As far as like throwing festivals, what are some kind of unknown, unexpected things that happen when you're logistically when you're putting together a festival that people might not know about?
Oh my gosh, there's so much. Like there's so much I wish people knew went into it because like whenever you hear someone complain about something, you want to be like, wait, there's a reason why it was that way.
Yeah.
I'd say probably the biggest thing that's like very hard for us and other event producers in the area is venues. Venues are always challenging. Denver does not have a lot of indoor venues that are affordable for festivals like ours. I mean, we've got like, Ballerina, you've got the convention center, you've got these huge things that are built for like people who are touring and huge corporate events, but none of those are affordable for people like us who are doing these smaller festivals. And so sometimes, we just have to kind of make an outdoor space work, uh, even though, we'd rather be inside where it's like temperature controlled and everything, but we have to move outside because it's the only place that has enough room for something like this. And so then, of course, there's like a million challenges of like creating 25, 30 temporary restaurants in the middle of a park, for example, or in the middle of a street. Power, propane, like all the things, hand washing stations, making sure everything's like up to code. There's just so much detail that goes into like every single booth. So as much as we wish we could have like a perfect, like cozy, incredibly comfortable indoor venue for like every single event, it's not possible, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think it adds something. It's better.
Yeah, I mean, the weather's unpredictable. So there's that. Like, it's always a gamble. For us, all of our events are rain or shine, snow or shine. No matter what happens out there, we're going to be there. And people don't always like that. Some people don't want to go to a festival in the snow, which I totally understand, but like, it's just going to happen regardless.
Yeah. I've been to one of the festivals on a rainy day and the food still tastes great. You're just a little damp.
Yeah, if you prepare and you've got your umbrella and like a poncho, some nice rain boots, I think you can make yourself comfortable for the most part.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's Denver. I mean, give it a couple minutes, it blows over.
No, that's true. I will say Derby every year, knock on wood, is like the most beautiful day. We're always like worried about it, and like the week before it's cold, and then something happens on Derby day. I don't know, Mother Nature just like loves us here in Denver or something. And she's like, okay, you guys can have your day with your fancy hats and you can go downtown. There's like maybe a little sprinkle in the afternoon, but then it's like, no, you can have this day.
Yeah. That's just so that the rainbow can appear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
Oh, man.
Well, we just have a couple more minutes. Do you guys have any other questions? I have kind of a speed round prepared.
You
fun.
could do your speed round, Ryan, and then we'll spin the wheel for the giveaway, and then we'll just talk about the giveaway for the next week. Okay?
Okay.
Sound good? All right, go for it.
All right, speed round. You ready, Lacey?
I'm ready.
Best burger in Denver. Where were you going?
My brother's bar.
Good choice.
Solid.
Excellent. Best slice in town. Where are you going for pizza?
Blue Pan.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
That's a solid answer too.
Is that Detroit style, I believe?
Yeah, it's
it is. Yeah.
Deep pie.
Yeah.
That's my go-to.
Is Blue Pan technically cake?
Oh no, it's pizza.
No? Okay.
Only a hater would say that.
Pizza.
I'm getting distracted. Best tacos in town.
That's a hard one.
It is. Take your time for sure. It's a tough one.
I'm gonna go to Machete. That's where I like to go.
Okay, I don't know them. Where's this?
I don't know.
Machete, they got 2 locations. Hold on, let me pull it up real quick so I don't give the incorrect info. Oh yeah, so they've got the one on Wynkoop right in front of Union Station. And then they've got the one in Cherry Creek on 3rd Avenue. That's what I'm most familiar with. And then I'm looking at this now and I see that there's an East Colfax location, which I didn't know. Maybe that one's newer.
It sounded like some prime real estate there, so they must be good.
Sounds like y'all need to check it out.
Yeah.
No.
We'll report back.
Go check out Machete.
A Machete.
Okay, best place to grab a drink before an event.
Well, it depends where the event is, of course, but like I'm really big into the DCPA performances.
Hmm.
It's like something I'll do with like my sister and my mom, and we always go to the corner office before.
Nice.
Fun.
Yeah, that's solid.
Yeah, get like a little martini, be fancy at the theater.
Yes, I enjoy that. I just did that for the we did the same thing for the Harry Potter orchestra. So they had the
Fun.
Prisoner of Azkaban on the movie playing, and then the Colorado Symphony Orchestra playing every sound and all the music along with the movie.
Did you went to that?
Yeah, it was great. It was awesome.
I've always wanted to go to one of those.
You could dress,
I've never been.
You could dress all fancy for the orchestra, and there's no really like bad seat in the house. Like everyone can see the movie. It's a huge like jumbotron above them.
I love that.
And you watch the whole movie and they play everything.
It's
And
awesome.
where was that one at?
At the DCPA.
Oh, it's there. Okay.
I forget the exact name of the theater, but it's like the big one all the way in the back. If you're walking through that little central courtyard,
Yeah.
all the way in the back.
The Buell
That might be it.
Theater.
It was big.
That's awesome. That sounds so
Let
fun.
me see if I could find it while we continue on.
Last one, and then we'll get to the winners this week.
Okay.
Yeah, just top of your head, favorite spot you've been to in Denver in the last couple of months.
Oh, so yes, I went to dinner at Lake Colonial. Have you guys been there?
No.
No.
Lake Colonial. Am I saying that right? Let me see. That was one of the best meals I've had in a really long time. So it's on Fillmore Street, also in Cherry Creek. It is like French and wait, hold on. I'm pulling up the website so I don't mess this up too. It's like, okay. I want to say
Oh, it
it's like
looks super
French
cozy.
and it's like a fusion restaurant.
Mhm.
So good. Amazing drinks, amazing service, amazing food. 10 out of 10. I would
Ooh,
recommend it for sure.
Looks French Vietnamese.
French Vietnamese, thank you.
Wow.
Yeah.
The
That looks good.
ambiance is so cool too.
The ambiance was really good. I was like in there trying to like channel my inner food blogger, like, ooh, I gotta take pictures of like everything, and of course, like nothing beats like just being there. All my pictures were worthless, but it was a great experience.
Cool.
Looks super nice.
Nice. So thanks, Lacey. Let's do the
Yeah.
giveaway.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I am going to spin our giveaway wheel here.
And these are VIP tickets, right?
Well,
Or are these the GA?
these are the GA, and then since
Okay.
you're on this week, right after this, we're gonna announce how people can get in on the VIP ticket
okay.
giveaway for next week. So we're kind of
Exciting.
we'll start it this week and then announce next week. So this is the one that we started last week. Let me see if I could.
Okay, got it.
Well, you guys aren't able to see the wheel, but I've got it here up on the live stream for everyone to see. So these are all the people who participated. They commented and did some tagging of their friends, and we'll see who's
Nice.
going for it. Oh,
Drum roll.
wow, it
Okay.
really, did you see it at all in the live stream? It was literally right on the line, and it just went, eh. DD Neal is going to be the winner, and I think
Woo!
that comment came from Instagram, Troy. It's on the first half of our Instagram comments here. So
DD Neal.
DD Neal, congratulations. Yes.
Okay.
Let's go.
Really sorry to D Thuggin, not D. Wow, you guys should have seen it. You have to watch the replay of how it literally was like. Even if I share my screen with you now, you're gonna see where it ended. Hold on a sec. Look.
It's not dethugging.
Not D Thuggin. It's DD
man.
Neal.
Oh, I see him. Okay.
Neal.
Oh, I can't share my screen. You guys just have to check it on the live stream. It looks like it's both of them that are the winner. That's crazy.
Should we just let them both win?
Oh, Lacey, you're the one to do it.
Lazy. I don't know if you.
I mean, I'm
if
in
you have
charge
the
here. I'm
power.
kind of like, it was on the border, so maybe we should have 2 winners this week.
Let's
I'm
go.
sure
D
they
Thuggin,
would
you're
be-
in, buddy.
D
Let's do
Thuggin.
it.
You
All
are.
right.
Let's do it.
You
You're
got
both
it.
going. Yeah.
Right. Give me the share juice real quick so you can see
All right,
this.
all right. All right, here we
It
go.
stayed on this spot for like 3 seconds before it here, look what we got. I mean, that's close, right?
That's close.
Oh,
That's down to the wire.
yeah.
That's really close.
That's tough.
They're both winners. I'm calling it.
Wow.
All right.
I mean,
All right.
shout
Yeah.
out to Lacey. The Drink Denver team has been awesome with us pushing this promo. So they're really hooking you guys up with some tickets for listening in and commenting. So congrats.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. And then Ryan, maybe you want to talk about how we're going to do this VIP giveaway coming up.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So the new one will be for newsletter subscribers. So all you have to do is go to realgooddenver.com and subscribe to the newsletter. So we'll publish this through the socials. So realgooddenver.com, fill out for the newsletter, and we'll also post it to our newsletter, which probably I think we're etching up on about 7,000 subscribers at this point. Shout out to everybody on this podcast for coming over there and doing that.
Yeah.
So we'll make that available, and we'll do the same kind of thing where we're going to spin a wheel. So everybody that submits for the promotion, we'll let the algorithm or the website that's doing it make the final decision. And if it's down to the wire again, we might have to reach out to Lacey and be like, hey, come on, it's on the line.
Lacey, yeah, we need 100 more tickets. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
We might have to just make them like rock, paper, scissors or something.
Yeah. Well, okay, so that's great, Ryan. Everyone who's already entered into the newsletter, you should be good. And then anyone who enters between now and next Tuesday to our next show, you will also be entered in. But keep in mind, if we send you a message that you are a winner, you have to respond to us. So
Respond within a week, or we might have to move on.
yeah, honestly, you know what? D Thuggin may be getting the last winners because they didn't respond to us. So if you are that winner, still send us an email. We can only really hold the tickets for so long. So if you do get a reach out from us, make sure that you respond, because we'd hate to see you go ramenless next month. But yeah,
Must have the ramens.
I think that's going to go great. Subscribe to the newsletter and you'll be entered for these VIP tickets. We'll still be sharing it on Instagram and TikTok to let everybody know what we got available for you all. And thank you, Lacey, for coming on and being
Thanks for having me.
our
Thank you, Lacey.
all-you-can-eat correspondent. I think everyone's super excited.
Yes.
Sweet.
Yeah. Shout out denverramenfestival.com with all the details, ticketing information, and dates. You can check that out. And then, of course, it is the drinkdenver.co for all the events we talked about today.
Yes. Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Cool.
No problem. Do you guys want to run through events, or maybe we could just close it out with a highlight? What do you think, Ryan? I know we're a little
Yeah,
over
let's
time.
do that. Let's close out with a highlight. So, Lacey, we'll have to get a highlight from you. You can think about it. What was your highlight from the last week? Troy, let's start with you, buddy.
Yeah, I think a highlight from last week is just got some solid R&R. Hit the farmer's market, got some life errands done, and just things, that you need to catch up on. Laundry, cleaning the house, taxes, all that fun stuff. So just,
Nice.
again, catching up on life and some R&R. I think that was my highlight from last week. What about you, Tom?
I'm gonna split between two here. I went and finally tried the new NADC burger. This is in Larimer Square. It's new smash burger restaurant started by pro skateboarder Neen Williams, and he partnered up with a Michelin star chef. I think the whole story is they would just love cooking and eating up some smash burgers after their skate sessions. And this is an OG dude. He's been around in the scene for a while, and this is one of the best, if not maybe the best, new smash burger. I'm not giving it for every type of burger, but definitely top smash burger that I have over in Larimer Square again. So check that out. And then the other half of my highlight last week, I hit up the Belly Up venue in Aspen for the first time. So that was super sweet, super small, intimate venue, really cool space in there, and big names come through and play it. And I think it's like a 450 capacity room, but I mean, they really just do it right there. Everything you could want out of a show, awesome lighting, great sound, and just awesome atmosphere. So that's the Belly Up Aspen show is definitely the second highlight for sure.
Love it. I'll do mine real quick. Just took a quick jaunt down to Tennyson and got 2 slices of cheese pizza and a couple of beers to watch the Nuggets game. It was absolutely heaven at Fat Sully's. That for me is my number one pizza spot. And, you know, I have gluten sensitivities. So I know that if I'm going to eat pizza, I'm going to pay the price a little bit, but it's worth it. Yeah. It's worth it. For some reason, I think it's the changing of the seasons, but I was like, I just want cheese pizza. So we went down there.
Sully's is a solid choice. I mean, that's a slice. That is a slice.
That's a slice. I know.
Yeah.
It's pretty darn good. How about you, Lacey? What was your highlight from last week?
You know what? I'm going to shout out some local businesses as my highlight because I've been a customer of 3 businesses that stood out the last week. So the first is called Springhouse Pilates. They just opened a new studio in Applewood on Youngfield Street. I happened to drive by, saw a big Pilates sign, and I was like, I kind of want to try that out. Ended up going to class. It was wonderful, super fun, locally owned. They have another location in Arvada. Definitely recommend to anybody out there who's interested in Pilates. And then my daughter's birthday was this past weekend. I ordered cookies and I ordered a cake from 2 local businesses. Both of them were awesome. Did a really great job, and I think people should look them up if they're looking for cakes or cookies for a special occasion. So Sadie's Cookie Company, she did these like decorated sugar cookies. I've actually worked with her twice now because I just thought she was so awesome. And then the other one is called Love Emily Bakery. Oh. She did the cake, and like she's amazing. Like if you like this kind of like vintage style looking cakes, but like with a twist, she would be where you go.
I think I've seen their content before.
Yeah, they're like really incredible cakes. Nice. So yeah, those are my highlights. Finding some kick-ass local businesses.
Love it.
Shout out.
That's amazing. Well, Lacey, thanks again for joining us. Thanks for doing the promotion with us. We are so fired up about the Denver Rum Festival. It's insane. Shout out to the listeners. Yeah, absolutely. Appreciate you guys listening to the show. We will list all of the events this week and all of the news items in the newsletter that'll go out since we didn't have time to hit it today. But other than that, I think that's it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Lacey.
Thanks, everybody.
See you next week.